One time I was listening to WAP and my mom walked in. She saw it for a split second before I quickly changed it and she asked me what the F I was just listening to. I said it's a song called WAP, that stands for Worship All Parents. I then said I WAP you mom and I hugged her. I then quickly left and thought that was such a good save. An hour later my mom updated her Twitter status to all kids should WAP. More kids need to be encouraged to WAP in this day and age if they want to become something of themselves and succeed. WAP if you're a respectful person. WAP 2020. Sis was having a moment so I just left her. Twitter is ruthless so she had to remove her tweet and she was asking me what she did wrong all day. Last week my mom barged into my room holding her iPad. She aggressively asked me if I've been listening to a song called WAP and I said yes. Why? She said I'm not ever allowed to listen to it because it's anti-Muslim and I said WTF are you on about? She said it means wine and pork and proceeded to show me a minion meme saying WAP stands for wine and pork. She said that Cardi B purposely made that song to shame all Muslims. I obviously couldn't tell her the real meaning of the song so I just said okay I won't listen to it anymore. She then did a full-on rant on Facebook saying how disgusted she is with new music, and how in 2020 there are still religion shamers. All her friends were cheering her on and she was strutting around all day like she just saved mankind. My sister is really racist and she supports Trump and all of that. I disowned her obviously but we still talk because she's my only sibling and I get bored. She was on her shit again and came home from the mall and asked me what WAP means. I thought of the perfect meaning and I said wide and proud. She got so excited and she thanked me for the meaning. She got a bunch of her old shirts but I didn't give a shit because it was her problem not mine. She went to the mall again the next day and came home after a few hours with printed t-shirts. They all said WAP, wide and proud, and she wears them all around the house. I accidentally ripped 2 of them and lost another one while washing. She has 3 left and I'll let you know what I do to them next to There is a song on TikTok trending right now that goes like real women vote Trump. We don't want no liberal chump. I thought it would be funny to show my mom because she's a hardcore Trump supporter and she asked me if I can send that video to her. I was like okay whatever and I just went on with my day. All day she was singing the song to herself wherever she walked around and she had headphones on and was listening to it. I was thinking oh no what the hell did I just do? We went out to the mall to go sit at a cafe and have coffee and while we were drinking her phone rang. Her ringtone was that song I showed her and everyone turned around and stared at us in disgust. I started getting teary-eyed from embarrassment and I sat at another table. I told her I'm never going out with her again if she keeps that ringtone but she hasn't changed it so whenever we go out I stay away from her and do my own thing until it's time to meet back at the car. A few days ago my mom asked me if I know what WAP means. She said she sees it all over Facebook and that she's tired of it. I said it means waffles and pancakes and that's what I'm going to make for breakfast. She said oh yum and walked off. I ended up making them because I promised even though I know that's not what WAP stands for. She ate them and loved them and she put a picture up of me when I was making them. She captioned it I just gobbled up my daughter's WAP. It was scrumptious. People were laughing in the comment section and she didn't know why. She was replying back to everyone saying what's wrong with eating my daughter's WAP. The post got removed because of community guidelines. My dad asks me for the weather like every single day so I decided to play a prank on him. When he finally asked me I said the weather is WAP. He looked confused and asked me what does WAP weather mean. I said it means windy and partly cloudy and then I burst out laughing like. My dad then got the joke and started laughing like. He then uploaded a pic of the sky on Instagram and captioned it the weather is really WAP today. WAPier than ever. I told him what it really means and that made him find it funnier and he kept the post up. I'm Debbie and this is my story. One day I was in my English class watching a movie about Shakespeare. I had beans and coffee before school. The most deadliest combination. It wasn't even that long before my stomach started rumbling when I got into class. The movie was really loud and I sat at the back of the class so I thought it would be my perfect chance to let out the most bubbly fart so no one could hear it over the sound of the movie. As soon as I was about to do it my teacher paused the movie to explain a scene and that's when I let out the most soggy doggy, butchered froggy, shit comes out loggy, made the room foggy, so loud you would think it was the 4th of July. I swear to God one kid sitting next to the window opened the blinds because he thought he heard a thunderstorm outside. I dropped my books on the floor in hope of a save, thinking that people would have thought the sound was my books dropping, but that's when the creamy lumps fell out of my pants onto the floor. I ran out crying to the bathroom and called my mom and she took me home and got me new clothes. I had to go back to school the next day and everyone was laughing at me and was calling me Diarrhea Debbie.
One time me and my best friend were at school and we were both on our periods, so we asked the teacher if we can go bathroom. He said no and that our lady problems can wait for another time. We said it's not really a choice, we have to go. And he locked the doors and said we aren't going anywhere. Me and my friend were furious and we sat down and thought of a plan. My friend is diabetic, so she keeps a little measuring cup in her bag to measure her foods and shit. We put the measuring cup up our skirts and into our kazalakazapoochanaholahazakalas and let all the blood leak in the cup, and it was so much. We got up and threw the cup of our fishy blood at his face and he started violently vomiting. He wouldn't stop vomiting and it was starting to scare everyone, and we were all up against the wall at the back of the classroom. He was relentlessly vomiting and throwing his head thus back and yonder repeatedly. He eventually passed out but vomited in his sleep and ended up choking on it. He got taken to the hospital but he never came back to the school afterwards. Period. Pooh, don't mess with us.
When I was in my room dancing to WAP, I heard someone knock on my door. I opened it and my mom started yelling at me saying, "What is this music that I'm listening to?" I came up with something and I quickly said, "It's not what you think. It's called WAP and it stands for Women Are Powerful." She smiled and said period and then walked out. The song already ended long ago and I was still dancing in my room and I got a ding on my phone. It was a Facebook post notification. My mom put up a new post. I clicked it and it was a photo of her head edited on Cardi B and she captioned it, "Did you know that WAP and women have always been WAP? We don't need no man to satisfy our needs because WAP." She then made a whole list of women she thought were powerful and she said, "Here are some WAPs." All my cousins were commenting LMAO and LOL and she asked me why they thought it was funny. I said they're probably just sexist as a joke, but my mom believed it, and she now ignores our cousins at family gatherings.
One time when I was in the bathtub, I was washing my kalahachazaka with a bar of soap. I pushed it too far and the soap completely went inside my and disappeared, and I couldn't find it no matter how many times I fisted myself. So for the next 2 weeks my period came out in bubbles.
One day when I was 13, I snuck in my mom's room while she was in the shower and I hid under her bed. I closed my bedroom door so she would think I'm in my room. I was giggling at the thought of her getting scared. I heard my dad open the front door downstairs, meaning he's back from work. My mom finished up showering and I heard her get out and welcome my dad. They both slowly and quietly came into the bedroom and I saw their clothes drop on the floor. I put my hand over my mouth and they got on the bed and started doing the deed. The bed was bouncing so much I swear the mattress was bonking my head every few seconds. The room started smelling like sweaty cheese and I was trying not to vomit. I was crying so much with my hand still over my mouth, and then they finished. I heard my mom say, "Great, now I have to shower again." And my dad said, "Me too." They then both went into the shower together and I quickly ran back to my room and got into bed and started crying. I now have a baby sister as well. One time my kazalakazakahuchalapuchalazachapachapazachapazacha was really itchy in church. I didn't want to scratch my chupa chupa in the house of God first of all. I also didn't want to get my fish flakes on the floor as I haven't showered in 6 days. The itch was unbearable, so I shoved my hand in there and was raking that bitch. The pastor saw me and dropped his microphone and it put everyone into shock. I froze and everyone looked at me with my fist inside my kazalakazakahuchalapuchalazachapachapazachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapachapa try my best to shower every 4 days to avoid this problem now.